The Lord spoke to Moses in the Sinai desert in the second year of their exodus from the land of Egypt in the first month, saying, The children of Israel shall make the Passover sacrifice in its appointed time. On the afternoon of the 14th of this month you shall make it in its appointed time, in accordance with all its statutes and all its ordinances you shall make it. Moses spoke to the children of Israel, instructing them to make the Passover sacrifice. So they made the Passover sacrifice in the first month on the afternoon of the 14th day of the month in the Sinai desert, according to all that the Lord had commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel do. There were men who were ritually unclean because of contact with the dead person, and therefore could not make the Passover sacrifice on that day. So they approached Moses and Aaron on that day. Those men said to him, We are ritually unclean because of contact with a dead person. But why should we be excluded so as not to bring the offering of the Lord in its appointed time with all the children of Israel? Moses said to them, Wait, and I will hear what the Lord instructs concerning you. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Any person who becomes unclean from contact with the dead, or is on a distant journey, whether among you or in future generations, he shall make a Passover sacrifice for the Lord. In the second month, on the 14th day in the afternoon, they shall make it. They shall eat it with unleavened cakes and bitter herbs. They shall not leave over anything from it until the next morning, and they shall not break any of its bones. They shall make it in accordance with all the statutes connected with the Passover sacrifice. But the man who is ritually clean and was not on a journey, yet refrained from making the Passover sacrifice, his soul shall be cut off from his people, for he did not bring the offering of the Lord in its appointed time, that the person shall bear his sin. If a proselyte dwells with you, and he makes a Passover sacrifice to the Lord, according to the statutes of the Passover sacrifice and its ordinances, he shall make it. One statute shall apply to you, to the proselyte, and to the native-born citizen. On the day the Mishkan was erected, the cloud covered the Mishkan, which was a tent for the testimony, and at evening there was over the Mishkan like an appearance of fire, which remained until morning. So it was always. The cloud covered it, and there was an appearance of fire at night. And according to the cloud's departure from over the tent and afterwards, the children of Israel would travel, and in the place where the cloud settled, there the children of Israel would encamp. At the bidding of the Lord, the children of Israel traveled, and at the bidding of the Lord they encamped. As long as the cloud hovered above the Mishkan, they encamped. When the cloud lingered over the Mishkan, for many days the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and did not travel. Sometimes the cloud remained for several days above the Mishkan. At the Lord's bidding they encamped, and at the Lord's bidding they traveled. Sometimes the cloud remained from evening until morning, and when the cloud departed in the morning they traveled, or the cloud remained for a day and a night, and when the cloud departed they traveled. Whether it was for 2 days, a month, or a year that the cloud lingered to hover over the Mishkan, the children of Israel would encamp and not travel, and when it departed they traveled. At the Lord's bidding they would encamp, and at the Lord's bidding they would travel. They kept the charge of the Lord by the word of the Lord through Moses.